wondering why my room's in a mess, well, I don't use this in the excuse, my room's actually messy these days. But I'm going to take a trip down memory lane. Just increase the volume a bit on my TV. I'm a child at heart. I'm sad to say I'm 25 years old and only now I've decided to get rid of my old junk, really. I know usually people, when they're done with something, they sell it, but with me, I just like to keep on to my past, you know, just cherish things. I've kept a lot of things from my past, and I'm briefly just going to take you through some of the things. I'm going to put more than half of these things on eBay or just chuck them out, but I think it's time to move on, you know, don't you think? 5 years old, but it's because I'm a child at heart, and I've always said that if I was a man that was around the time when I was a kid, I would have loved life. Trust me, life is boring now. Like everything was much better back in the days. But yeah, let's take you through it. Okay, now I was a big fan of football stickers. Obviously because of football. Fortunately, sad to say, that I used to cut it out from the little booklet. As you can see here, this that is Nelson, the Swedish man, he's a prime Southampton. Literally through every Premier League team, all the Premier League teams, I used to cut them out and put them into groups. And I made my own football world, really. There was transfer, negotiations, managers. My brother was the manager of Arsenal. Used to make him play with me. Used to cut them out, and what I used to do is basically, I used to play it like this. If you have more appearance than the other person, you score, you get 1 point. If you've got more goals than them, you score. If you got a better strike rate, you get a point. If you got a better win percentage, you get a point. If you get a better draw percentage, you get a point. And if you get a less losing percentage, then you've got the point. So that's how I used to do it, really. So obviously, it used to work out, actually. Obviously, the big teams end up usually beating the lesser teams. Sometimes there was upsets, don't get me wrong. And that's the way I used to play, and I used to make transfers as well. So, say for example, Michael Bridges would get transferred to Leicester City. By the way, this is old, so I'm just trying to say I don't do this now. That's how you can see Michael Bridges. But yeah, it was a very entertaining game. I used to put it on paper. I made this booklet. I wrote all the teams down. I wrote all their names down and everything. Like I really, really did enjoy it. No doubt about that. So if the lighting's not clear, it's a bit dark. I should have put the lighting on before I start the video. I've got a few old CDs. I remember this story. This is a funny story. My mum went to Bangkok and bought all these games: Bugs Life, Mortal Kombat. What's this? Courier Crisis. Seems like a French game. Is Mickey Mouse? Seems like a choir CD, that one. That should be there. Theme Park, Batman and Robin, World Cup 98 game. Hercules and Rally Cross, and there was way more other games. My mum basically bought like 25 games or 20 games from Bangkok, and me and my brother was real excited. Obviously, as you can see, it was PlayStation around this time, and we put the CD in and it didn't work. So basically all these games was a waste of money, but bless my mum, because she thought she was doing us a favour. The great gesture by my mum. We got a bargain out there, but obviously when we turned it back, none of them worked. I don't even know why I still kept them, because literally none of them worked in the console. I think they still work, if they're in good condition anyway. I think they are in good condition, but it obviously wasn't compatible with our PlayStation platform, and that's the reason why we never got to play those games. But trust me, the excitement was immense before we found that. Got more football cards. Trust me, I did this for like 3 seasons or 4 seasons, man. It was very, very sad, trust me. Still kept it. Pokemon toys as well. Again, I'm ashamed to say I used to play with toys. I only stopped when I was like 17, shamefully enough, or 16. I remember I stopped quite late. I was still playing it in the latter stages of secondary school. I was such a little kid. There was way more toys than this. I used to call this guy Corp. I think he's actually from Action Man. I used to call this guy Zelda. I think some of you will recognise him. I forgot his name. I even forgot the cartoon series he's from. This is one of the hyenas in Kuna Matata, I think. Is that even the name of the program, or is that the name of one of the songs? I can't remember. I got an old school PlayStation. Is it PlayStation 2? I think it's PlayStation 2. No, this is PlayStation 1 memory card, and this is a PlayStation 2 memory card. So I've kept that. I've got a few burnable CDs just to put music on that and transfer it. Pokemon cards. Cherish these, but I've got a couple of Pokemon cards here that I kept. A couple shinies there as well. Blue tops, as you can see, shiny. Kept some Dragon Ball Z cards as well. Big fan of Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon back in the day. Used to watch Dragon Ball Z profusely every time it was on. This is another sad thing. This is referring to the toys I used to play with. I used to play football with the toys, basically. The same thing I did with the little football stickers. I made like a little competition and a little tournament. I wrote all the names down on paper, and basically this is the balls that I would use. What's this say? I think this is Constance Mayers. I made a team called Constance Mayers, so if the team was playing at home, they would use their own ball. I made it out of tissue paper, rolled it up, and I painted. No, I didn't paint it. I think I used a felt tip to colour it in. So pathetic, so sad. Same thing here. What does this say? Lockdown. I think I remember that name. Yeah, it's a bit sad, but these things there. I think this is from a pinball game. Got a few rubbers there. Some of the names I wrote down here. Blackburn Rose, Bolton. Chuck that in the bin. This shouldn't be here. This was fairly recent. This was last Christmas actually. I got this from work. It shouldn't really be here. Never opened it. This as well. Never opened this. I ain't gonna tell you where I got this from, but I never opened that one. I never had a Nintendo DS, so we didn't have any need to open it. This is an old Gary Lineker football book that I used to read. It's alright, I guess, football stories. What else do I have here? This game was an addictive game. I can't remember what game we used to play, but it used to be entertaining. I remember I used to be on it, use a battery to work this out. Unfortunately, I ain't got any available batteries to function this thing at the moment, but trust me, that was entertaining. This is a PlayStation pad that we received that never worked. It required 4 batteries. It's probably one of the worst things you can create, worst things you can buy. Why would you want to buy a PlayStation? Was it even PlayStation pad? 4G gamers, what? I think it was a PlayStation pad, a modified version, but yet it required 4 AAA batteries. Why would you want to buy that, honestly? Is it? Yeah. What else do we have here? I've got French dictionary. When I was going for a little spell, I wanted to actually learn French instead of skiving the French lessons off in school. An old video cassette player. Obviously we've got iPads and that now. Just look at that. Used to record music. What I used to do as well on Channel U or MTV Base, I used to get my little where is it? My little MP3. Was it MP3? Yeah, this is an MP3. Yeah, I used to get this. What I used to do basically, because I was so cheap, I didn't go out there and buy music or download music, and I didn't really have access to internet around the time. Before a song comes on, they'll kind of introduce it. I'll quickly run towards the TV and record the song. I'll tell my brother to be quiet, put the TV up loud, record it, and then save it, and then listen to it. Hey, listen, it worked for me. Obviously, the audio wasn't great, but it was definitely listenable. You could listen to it. I had no problems there. I think it was a smart idea thinking back on it, considering the circumstances. Got a little quiz, set of quiz pads here. I remember this where the answers are at the back. This was a good game when you get with a group of friends, really, when you're young, by the way. Just read out the questions. I remember I played the weakest link and I read these questions out in my form class in school. Quite entertaining still. I like it. Okay. So oh yeah, we've got, these are snap cards. Teenager Mutant Card snap cards here. That was very unsuccessful. I still got my old Game Boy Color, so Pokemon Blues in the back. As you can see, still got Super Nintendo Mortal Kombat there. And my old PlayStation 2, but you know what? It's time to get rid of these things. Oh yeah, this is right here. We have a combination of games. We've got PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1. It's mostly just football games. Obviously, I used to watch football like FIFA, Euro 2004, and wrestling. I was a massive fan of wrestling back in the days. Driver 2, I remember that game was so entertaining. Oh, I used to love that game, especially when they made it 2 players. LMA Manager, I used to manage the games. I've got other games as well, but right now I can't even be asked to get everything out. I just thought, let me take some of that out. But you know what? It's time to move on to get rid of all these things. So, rest in peace, the little material things that represented my childhood. I will never forget it. It'll always be in my heart. But physically, some of these things has to go. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.